Today we are diving into the dark and chilling world of true crime. In this video, we will be counting down the top 5 most notorious male serial killers in history. These individuals terrorized communities, leaving a trail of horror and tragedy in their wake. Please be advised that the content discussed may be disturbing to some viewers. Now, let's begin our unsettling journey into the minds of these killers. Number 5, Richard Ramirez. Known as the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez terrorized the streets of Los Angeles during the 1980s. His brutal crimes included burglary, sexual assault, and murder. Ramirez's modus operandi involved breaking into homes at night, targeting vulnerable victims. He would often leave behind satanic symbols as a chilling signature. The Night Stalker's reign of terror ended when he was captured and later sentenced to death. His heinous acts continue to haunt the memories of those who lived through that dark time. Number 4, Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy, one of the most infamous serial killers in American history, was a charming and intelligent man who used his charisma to deceive his victims. Operating during the 1970s, Bundy would lure young women to his car under the pretense of needing assistance. Once they were in his control, he would brutally assault and murder them. Bundy's true nature remained hidden for years, allowing him to continue his killing spree across multiple states. Eventually, he was apprehended and his trial became a media sensation. Bundy's story serves as a chilling reminder that evil can often hide behind a charming facade. Number 3, Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer, also known as the Milwaukee Cannibal, shocked the world with his gruesome crimes. Operating in the 1980s and early 1990s, Dahmer targeted young men, luring them to his apartment with the promise of money or alcohol. Once there, he would drug, sexually assault, and murder his victims. Dahmer's depravity went even further as he engaged in acts of necrophilia and cannibalism. His horrific crimes were discovered when one of his intended victims managed to escape and alerted the police. Dahmer was convicted and later met his demise in prison. Number 2, John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy, also known as the Killer Clown, was a seemingly ordinary man who hid a dark secret. In the 1970s, Gacy sexually assaulted and murdered at least 33 young boys and men. His victims were often lured to his home with the promise of employment or money. Gacy would then trap and torture them before ultimately taking their lives. Shockingly, Gacy would dress up as a clown to entertain children at parties, further disguising his sinister nature. The true extent of his crimes was only revealed when the bodies were discovered buried beneath his house. Gacy was convicted and later executed for his heinous acts. Number 1, Gary Ridgeway. Topping our list is Gary Ridgeway, also known as the Green River Killer. Operating in the 1980s and 1990s, Ridgeway targeted vulnerable women, often engaging in prostitution. He would strangle his victims to death and dispose of their bodies in remote areas, earning him the nickname Green River Killer. Ridgeway's ability to evade capture for so long was attributed to his careful selection of victims and his ability to blend in with society. It wasn't until 2001 that advances in DNA technology led to his arrest. Ridgeway confessed to murdering 49 women, although it is believed that the actual number may be much higher. He is currently serving multiple life sentences in prison. As we conclude our chilling countdown, it's important to remember the victims and the families affected by these heinous crimes. The actions of these male serial killers serve as a haunting reminder of the darkness that can reside within human beings. While justice has been served in many of these cases, the scars left behind are deep and lasting. Let us hope that by exploring and understanding these stories, we can work towards preventing such atrocities from happening in the future. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next video. Stay safe. And remember to always look over your shoulder.